Do you want to improve at a quicker pace? Check out GITGUDRacing.com, where I'm offering the most accessible coaching sessions on the market. Now for the track guide. For turn 1, you want to brake late, you want to brake hard, and you want to open up the corner. So when approaching it, I brake past the 100 meter board and I plan to use this red and white curb on the entry to open up the corner as much as possible. So braking past the 100, and notice that under braking I'm using almost the green part of the track on the left side. So it's important to open up the corner to carry a lot of speed. Then I'm trail braking and I plan to aim at this curb. You have a compression zone here where the road falls down, and you want to be as close as you can to this curb and to the white line, because you can slam the throttle right now without spinning. You will have a lot of grip here. Although it's important to finish your braking properly when applying the throttle, otherwise, yes, you can spin under the trail brake. But if you manage to stop the car in time and then here you slam the throttle, you will carry the momentum, and it's not a big deal if you get pushed to the white line from the left side, because you have enough time to reposition. And you don't need to over prepare the next corner. So this speed that you're carrying here is gonna make up for going slower and having a better position for the next corner. Now, speaking of the next corner, I'm trying to bring the car more to the right side, but I don't plan to bring it to the white line. So right here, it's perfectly enough for me. And the moment that you see, now we're going uphill, the moment that I start to see the road in front of me, so almost I finish the uphill part, is the moment that I turn in to this corner. And right when I'm a bit closer to this curb, I'm applying the brakes just to make the car point. So it's a 3% brake, maybe 5%, just to make the car rotate, because I want to hook this inside of the curb. So I want to go with my tire past it, and this curb, it's gonna rotate the car nicely for you. So you can be on throttle at this curb, but never be at 100% throttle. You have to manage the throttle input, otherwise you're gonna spin. But if you do it properly, this curb will get you the rotation that you need while carrying the speed. And ideally, the exit out of this corner will be at this curb on the right side. Now we're going downhill, and the moment that I feel in my wheel this little compression zone, because we're going downhill and there's a slight bump here when the compression starts, and the moment that I feel it in my wheel, I'm applying the brakes. I'm downshifting to second and I try to cut as much as I can on this curve, but the trick is to cut it late. If you're gonna cut it early, you're gonna have a weird line. You should imagine, like right here, you should imagine that you want to be glued to the white line on the exit, the white line that's following the curve. So whenever I'm going like this, on the exit, I'm very close to the white line. This will be super important because now it's a big straight until the next corner and you want to be on throttle as much as possible. So I'm going in third gear and I have to go with a small lift, and you have to be prepared for this, because if you're gonna have a good entry here, meaning you open up, you stayed glued to the white line, now you can just send it at the curb and do just a small lift, and then be back, and then you'll stay in the off-track limits. Now going to the next corner, this one is pretty straightforward. You want to brake at the end of the cones, just a small brake, and then quickly be back on throttle. And you should aim on the exit to be more in the center of the track to the left, but not on the right. So if you get pushed a bit more to the center, that's okay. If you manage to stay more closely to the left, that's even better, because right now for the right-hander, which at the end of this corner it's gonna be another big straight, you want to prepare it as much as possible. So I'm going at the white line, I'm applying the brakes, and this is one of the corners in which you need to release the brakes quickly. I found that if you trail brake more into this corner, either the right front is gonna lock up, or you're gonna overslow the car. So just just brake and then release it quickly than you think it's needed, if that makes sense, and then quickly be back on throttle. You can be on throttle even more aggressively than that. Notice that I had just a bit more space on the curb, so I could have carried just a bit more speed. So probably if I didn't do the lift here, you see in the telemetry, if I just kept flat out from here, from this part, it would have been okay. But continuing with the next corner, here is something that you need to do in the positioning. So you need to use this curb to the left of the white line. So I'm putting my tire all the way almost to the grass, and as soon as I'm straightening up the car, because right now I'm turning, but you see this white line is straightening up. The moment that I position myself straight, I'm just gonna apply the brakes. And I plan to shoot my car wide initially, so that I can take a more like a V-shaped line. So I don't want to be glued to the right white line. Instead, I want to go a bit deeper initially and then cut it like this. I could have been earlier on throttle because I have this space on the exit. So ideally you would go on this curb almost to the sand. So right here is probably 1.5 tenths for sure is 1/10. Because I was lazy with the throttle. The moment the brake stops is the moment that you should be on throttle, but I have this space in between. So be mindful of that. And I also think that this line is gonna be better than just following the white line. I think just following the white line is gonna be slower. Even though your line will be shorter, you won't make up for the speed that you're gonna carry by shooting the car wider initially. Now this is flat up until the next corner, in which again there's something that you can do on the positioning. I'm looking at the 100 marker and I want to use a bit more track to open up. So I want to use this grass on the entry, this green thing. It's not grass actually, it's just green concrete. And the off-track limit is having the antenna past the white line. So if you put your antenna on the white line, everything is gonna be fine on entry. So you want to open up as much as possible, and you want to apex early here. You want to apex early, you want to take a lot of curb. Like look what's my positioning on the car right now. This is the limit that you can use. Taking all this curb and then be back on throttle, and you will be pushed to this next curb. The goal is to not go past it. So you can put half your car on it, but if you put more than that, the car will bottom out, and it's gonna be weird. And if you don't bottom out, it's gonna be an off track. And in best case scenario, if it's not gonna be an off track, it's gonna be difficult to repositioning for the next corner. So don't go that wide. This is quite the distance and quite the exit that you should aim to use. Now straight going to this drain on the left side, and as soon as you hit it, you have to turn. So turning and braking, being early on throttle. You don't want to be on throttle at the apex, meaning here. You want to start your throttle application way earlier. So as soon as the car starts to point, give it throttle. Like from here, I'm already building up and using all this curb. Now for the penultimate corner, the chicane, I look at the 50-meter board, and I'm way too greedy right here, because I look at the 50, but I'm braking in between 100 and 50. I reach my peak pressure at the 50 almost, but this was a bit too early, too late of a braking point. I think the proper braking point for the fixed setup should be just slightly past 100, like right now should be on brakes, but I delayed way too much, and as a result I make the corner, but my throttle application is delayed. Like right now you should be on throttle, but even before that actually, like right now you should be on throttle, but in my case it was not possible because my car was going too fast, so I had to wait and then building up the throttle. For the last corner, one important thing, use this curb to open up, but be careful. If you're gonna use too much, your car will bottom out and you will just go straight into the wall. So the limit is having this antenna on the white line. If you're gonna put your antenna on the curb, on the beginning of the curb, your car will bottom out. So right now I'm using the exact limit. Like I'm playing at the limit. So just a bit more to the left and the car will bottom out. In terms of braking, I brake in the middle of this curb, so it's not easy to judge, but I'm looking at like the beginning it's here when the drain starts and the end it's here when the cone starts. I brake in the middle, just a slight brake and a downshift, and then be very close to this right-hander. Just hug the inside curb. It's gonna shoot you wide, but if you hug it initially, you should use all the exit because you have a lot of space to play with on the exit, and that's the reason you can get away with an early apex, because this is a very early apex, like apexing around here. But since the exit is generous, we can use it. And in short, that's a lap of Nurburgring Grand Prix. I hope you have a great week ahead, and I'll see you on the next one.